Capitec has banked profit growth for the full year. The firm has posted a 16% rise in headline earnings. That's as the group continued to increase its customer base. It says this was driven by the introduction of new products. A total dividend of 48 Rand 75 has been declared. This is a 16% rise on the previous period's payout. Anglo American has reported an 11% increase in copper output for the first quarter. That's thanks to a ramp-up in production at Quellaveco in Peru. But despite the gains, the diversified miner says it will maintain its 2024 guidance for the metal. Anglo has, however, lowered its forecast for diamond production. It expects output of between 26 and 29 million carats. That's from a previous projection of 29 to 32 million carats. This comes as rough diamond production via De Beers fell 23% in the first quarter due to lower demand. And taking a closer look within the Anglo stable, Kumba Iron Ore's total sales decreased by 10% in the first quarter. That's due to port performance challenges, while total production decreased 2%. The slump is in line with Kumba's business reconfiguration efforts as it aligns output volumes to Transnet's logistics performance levels. The group has maintained its production and sales guidance for the year. Output is seen at between 35 and 37 metric tons, while sales have been pegged at anywhere between 36 and 38 metric tons. Meanwhile, Anglo American Platinum has reported a 7% decline in total PGM production in the first quarter. That's as production fell at Mandelbult and Mototolo slowed. The miner says its guidance for 2024 is unchanged and its focus remains on safe, efficient and stable production through the cycle, which will increase the firm's resilience as a business. Sasol has posted a 4% uptick in total chemical sales volumes for the year to date. That's due to higher sales in America and a slight increase in demand in Eurasia during the 9 months to end March. Looking ahead, Sasol expects macro volatility to persist in the final quarter of its financial year. It's also warned that on home ground, it will likely experience disruptions at its suppliers and customers due to the challenges at Eskom and Transnet. But the firm says it will continue to engage with government on the matter. Copper 360 has flagged concerns around trading activity. The Northern Cape Mining Company says it's noticed unusual and uncommercial trades in its shares, which has resulted in a substantial drop in its traded price. It's added that these trades have continued on a systematic and sustained basis for several weeks, and that it's asked the Financial Sector Conduct Authority to investigate. The Department of Water and Sanitation has come under scrutiny. President Cyril Ramaphosa has called on the Special Investigating Unit to probe allegations of maladministration in the ministry amounting to billions of rands and to recover any financial loss to the government. The SIU has been tasked with looking into the procurement of goods, works or services related to departmental projects. These include the Drop the Block project, Almost Empty outdoor campaign, as well as the War on Leaks program. Further afield, Renault expects its sales growth to accelerate this year as it launches a number of new models. This comes after the French automaker confirmed its profit margin and cash flow forecast for 2024 and pushed ahead with cost cuts. Here's more detail in this package report.
Renault expects its sales growth to accelerate this year as it launches a number of new models. The French firm posted a 1.8% rise in first quarter revenue to $12.5 billion, just ahead of analyst forecasts. High interest rates lifted income at its financing arm, while car sales volumes grew by 2.6% versus a year earlier. Renault is in the middle of a turnaround plan and a shift to electric models. It's launching 7 new cars this year, including 2 fully electric ones and 2 hybrids. But the global auto sector is bracing for a tough year due to slowing demand growth for EVs. Leading EV maker Tesla is cutting prices in several markets, putting more pressure on European firms. Tesla cut the price of its Model 3 to $39,990 in Renault's home market. That matched the starting price of the French firm's new EV Scenic, which has a shorter range. Sales volumes at Renault returned to growth last year after falling 4 years in a row. The automaker also confirmed its forecast for this year. It's aiming for an operating margin target of at least 7.5% and free cash flow of almost $2.7 billion.
Now, Germany's leading industrial trade fair kicked off on Monday, focusing on revitalizing an eco-friendly industry for carbon-neutral production and hydrogen fuel cell technology. Here's our reporter Anatin Devu with more.
Well, that's right, Zinati. The Germany's largest industrial trade exhibition kicked off on Monday with industry stakeholders convening at Hannover Messe. Now, the fair has so far included conversations on digitalization, energy, transformation and AI. Joining us now with on-the-ground detail is DW's Lars Halter, who is currently standing by in Berlin. Now, Lars, we've seen a progression over the years with the industrial trade show literally starting from the ground up with the building of renewable energy sources. And now we are seeing an exhibition that is focusing on sustaining an eco-friendly industry as well as high-quality machine production. What are your insights on this?
Thanks for having me. It's actually quite impressive how the trade show has changed over the years. Like you said, this event used to be all about big machines, turbines and such. It was all about how to build them and how big they can be built. Today, it's all about how to build them cleaner, more sustainable. The green energy transition is playing a major role in Hanover, as is AI. Of course, that's maybe the number one topic. And it's also something Chancellor Olaf Scholz tried out when he opened the event at the booth of German industrial giant Siemens. He tried to interact with a robotic arm operated by AI. And it went just about as well as you would imagine. Scholz wanted the machine to go faster. He said it a few times and nothing happened. Well, eventually the thing sped up a bit, but it was a bit underwhelming. Let's hope this won't become a symbol for this year's event, or even worse, for how Germany will fare in the sector in future.
An interesting picture you paint there on that AI interaction. With that being said, how is Germany doing in AI and engineering these days?
Well, engineering is still a solid business here. It's bringing in around 250 billion euros in revenues. That's actually up from 200 billion in 2020. So at first glance, all is peachy, but actually analysts are expecting a decline this year. And the question is always, are we keeping up with other countries? I just came upon a study last week that analyzed and ranked universities worldwide, and it showed that when it comes to engineering, machine building and such, German universities only rank in the 30s and 40s worldwide. And I think that's a bit scary because it seems to show that we are losing our edge. Apparently, if you want to study and learn engineering, you're not necessarily looking at Germany anymore, but you're looking towards the US, to China and many other places. And if that is really the case, that could become a larger problem for us, because engineering, and by extension the entire industrial sector, are Germany's number one export sector. It's what our global trade is based on, so we can really not afford losing our edge.
And Lars, what can be done to move the country's industry back to the top?
Invest, 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 as always. Chancellor Scholz says he wants to work towards the country investing more in research and development, including by changing the rules on how the German retirement fund works. Scholz wants the government to allow to invest money in that fund on the open market. That's more risky than traditional investment in government bonds, of course, like they did so far, but it could bring a better return on investment, and it would direct more money to startups and other businesses who might need funding. He also wants to motivate Germany's most wealthy people to invest more actively. I don't know exactly how he wants to do that, but it would obviously be a great opportunity for them as well as for the industry, especially small and innovative companies in the fields of tech in general. And AI probably in particular can have a hard time sometimes in Germany having access to the capital they need. Any improvement here would certainly help.
Indeed. Let's leave it there for now. That was DW's Lars Halter.